So, Pastor Willis, how has forgiveness impacted your life?
Wow. Forgiveness. Now, forgiveness has never been easy for anybody, right? And forgiveness is basically, if I'm to put it in common language, it seems like what the Bible is asking you to do is just get over what someone has done to you. And forgiveness to me goes way beyond just getting over what someone did to you. It has everything to do with realizing what God did for me. Therefore, I am utilizing that same mindset because now I'm like Christ. I'm passing on that forgiveness I received unto someone else. Now, funny enough, the Bible gives us the idea that as long as we live, offenses will always be there. In fact, it's a central part of being a Christian to be able to forgive. And what that means is that being offended as a Christian is almost a guarantee. But the idea the Bible has about forgiveness is never taking anything too personal, because you and God are on the same team, making sure that anyone, whoever your neighbor is, whoever has offended you, both of you are working to get that person to come along to realizing who Jesus is. So the process of forgiveness becomes the process of preaching the gospel. And so those that know that they're on an assignment never take it too personal when someone does something to them, because they realize that God allowed that to happen so that my forgiveness can shine through the darkness, because it's a way of preaching the gospel. As easy as it was to say that, forgiveness is a process. This whole forgive and then we add the forget thing is a process. Forgiveness is a process, because the first process to forgiveness is realizing what Christ has done for you. That means before you can forgive someone, you need to know how bad you are first, yourself. What you have done for God. Now, that's what makes forgiveness already hard, where somebody offended me, and to forgive, I need to evaluate how bad I am first. My own part, how I offended God. And when I finally understand that, then I'll start to relate and understand that I am as bad as the person that offended me. Then I forgive them, right? And so the process begins by understanding who God is. From understanding who God is, understanding that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, understanding that if I can forgive them, the light of God is shining. And so at the end of the day, to forgive, Christ has to constantly be there. And for me, that has been hard, because I've been offended in a lot of ways, and especially when you believe you're right. It's the pains that I've had to go through and still hurt over a lot of situations is the fact that I know I'm right. I know that I'm being hurt. I know I'm the one being trashed. I'm the one that what makes it hard is we look at the Bible and we look at the verses that says, "Revenge is mine, says the Lord." And the reason why it's hard to even wait on God is sometimes revenge from God could even be that He decides to forgive the person too. Paul killed all these Christians, and he ends up writing the rest of the New Testament, as a matter of fact, and becomes this blessed individual, right? And so we find out that God doesn't hold grudges like we do. He's easily forgiving those that hurt us as well, and He expects us to forgive, because at the end of the day, there's a bigger picture than just anger or vengeance. And so in my life, I've had to learn how to forgive by understanding that at the end of the day, it's all about Christ. He gets the last laugh, however He decides to laugh. He could be laughing with the person that hurt me, because He ends up winning the person over through my forgiveness. It's just being okay with who God is, basically. That's what has helped me forgive. Because until I get to the place of realizing that God is as good as He is, and He says that He is, until I understand that, I can never forgive. But understanding that at the end of the day, God gets the last laugh. Not me. I laugh with Him, but not necessarily for what I want to laugh about. We laugh at what He laughs at. And that could just be that we have won that person over to Christ. That ended up hurting me. So forgiveness is all about Christ. Understanding who Christ is, falling in love with who He is and what He's up to. Doing that makes forgiving easier.
Thank you.